My name is Sharar, a woman from Afghanistan. Before Taliban took the power, I was a prosecutor.
Enjoying the view of Madrid, Ubaida Sharar and her family had their lives turned upside down when the Taliban returned to power in 2021. They fled because of threats linked to her work as a prosecutor specialising in gender-based violence. Now, finally, they're starting a new life in Spain, where they've got refugee status. Ubaida appreciates her new freedom, but can't forget the people she's left behind.
They are sentenced to be inside their houses, inside the walls. And this is not still, I cannot enjoy from my life because the women in my country, they are not free. They cannot do anything.
Ubaida was one of the 32 women judges and prosecutors who fled Afghanistan only to be stuck in Pakistan waiting for asylum. Many say they feel abandoned by the outside world. One prosecutor who wanted to be known only by her initials SM specialised in gender-based violence and violence against children in Afghanistan. As well as being threatened by Taliban members and families of criminals she'd sent to prison, she was pressured by her own relatives.
Even my first husband received threatening phone calls and calls from his family trying to convince him to stop me because I was not a good example for their wives, who might learn the way to fight for their rights and may put them in prison. My husband was an open-minded person.
Men and women, you have to stop to work the same day.
In Spain, a chance for some of the 19 Afghan women prosecutors who've been granted asylum here to talk with European lawyers. The latter all agree their Afghan counterparts were held up as symbols of democratic success, only to be discarded by Western governments.
They had to fight sometimes with members of their families, with colleagues, with the cultures. Now they seem to be forgotten, so this is really terrible.
Back in Pakistan, the prosecutors are just a tiny group on top of the millions of Afghans who fled here after the Soviet invasion in 1979 and during the subsequent civil war. For these women, it's been more than a year in limbo. But for SM, there's good news. Her family's on the move, heading for the airport and a flight to Spain. The emotion's clear. As they head for Europe, they can only hope they'll be able to return safely one day. Nadim, Al Jazeera.